Hello and welcome to what is, very sadly, the last of our F1 2013 Hot Lap videos. We were asked last week by Roland D42 in the YouTube comments whether we could please do the Malaysian Grand Prix track Sepang, because he was having difficulty in particular with the penultimate corner. Well, I can definitely help you there. I've got the perfect line that means you'll never go slow through that corner again. Once you do it this way, you'll always get it right. We're going to be using Sebastian Vettel's Red Bull like we did for the Monaco lap. But we're going to be doing it in the wet. Now this is with no assists. We're using a standard Xbox 360 controller as we have been, and obviously in the wet you've got to be so careful with the acceleration. But just to explain about this lap, obviously there are a couple of, shall we say, imperfections, a couple of blemishes on what is actually an incredibly quick lap. I set this lap, here's one of the first that I did, and I just couldn't beat it. I could not beat it. I tried and tried and tried, did laps that were technically more neat, but this one had the speed, so this is the one I'm going to show you. Alright, so let's get on with this. Coming down into the final corner to start your lap. You look on the right hand side here and there's a section of tarmac that looks like the pit lane but isn't, so don't go down that whatever you do. You'll notice also that this line here bends in the middle. That's your braking point on the bend. There. Down into second gear, keep the car in nice and neatly. You want to be getting a decent exit. Here I've got a bit of wheel spin to be honest, but empty your KERS battery anyway, across the line to start the lap. Let go of KERS as you do cross the line because you want to keep your battery as full as possible because you're going to need it. Now you're looking for the 100 meter board on the left hand side of the track. There it is. There's actually two of them, but I look at the one that's on the floor. Brake as you pass that 100 meter board, down into fourth gear by the time you're turning, but you actually want to get it down into first gear overall. Decelerate the car through the corner, losing speed as you go as the corner tightens, which gives you this perfect, beautiful line hugging the inside of the turn. Now, on the left-hander after it, there's actually a short straight between the two, and when I say short, I mean short, but you do actually have the chance just to squeeze the throttle a little bit, get a little more time out of the lap, and then brake down, second gear or first gear, it's up to you. I've chosen second here because I'm trying to avoid wheel spin. On the exit I do get some wheel spin, but as the car gets on the gas you should be holding the KERS button, drain about half of your battery, up the hill. Alright, now coming up to this right hander, get the car down into third gear, brake at the 100 meter board there, down into third gear before you start turning and you should make a lovely apex on that corner. Watch for wheel spin on the exit because it is very slippery there. And then this left-hander is completely flat out. Coax the car in using the analog steering. If you can, try and get your left-hand wheel just over that curb on the left as the curb ends. Now here I haven't, but I think that's why the car doesn't actually hug the apex on the right on this lap, because I got much better lines by following that technique of putting the car just over that left-hand line. Now look for the 50 meter board there on the left. As you pass that, shift down 2 gears. You can actually do this corner in 5th gear, but this time I've done it in 4th. It's not the best line through this corner, but if you get it right you can do that whole thing in one sweeping movement, which I'll show you here from a different lap. Coming out of that corner then, no need to worry about wheel spin really. You just want to get the car down to the 100 meter board again, brake just before it down into first gear. Hit the apex. And now this is where the slide happens on this lap. This section of track is so slippery. I mean, I remember F1 Championship Edition on PS3, which was a launch game. I would always spin the car here because there's not much grip on the road anyway. In the wet with the assists off, it's an absolute ice rink. So this is what happened to me. Got over the curb, got a big slide there, but I managed to catch it, which is the important thing. Now, I've followed the ghost of this lap so many times, and to be honest, I lost maybe 1/10 of a second doing that. But what it actually did is get me going slow enough that I wasn't too far over on the left to be able to brake in more of a straight line down into third for the second apex. There it is. A little off the apex, sure, but we've carried plenty of speed. We're going at 100 miles an hour here to be able to go round this section really nicely. We've still got half of that KERS battery, we haven't used it. Now, this is the corner that Roland D42 was asking about in the comments. Basically, what you want to do is hug the right hand side of the track and look for the moment that the curb thickens on the right. Go past the thickening of the curb, there, and now if you look, the track is actually really wide. What we're going to do is use the width of the track on this long corner to brake in a straight line. So we're pretending that it's a straight now, going this way, we're turning it into two corners basically. This is the corner now that we're taking. In third gear, you can hit that apex very easily, just like that, and then you can power through the corner from this point forwards, which gives you loads of exit speed. I've got a little bit of wheel spin here, but as soon as we shift up to fourth, that's fine. Okay, we've used up some more of the curves there to get some acceleration. Looking for that bit of tarmac again on the right, braking halfway through, down into second gear, and on the exit we're going to use the last bit of our curves. Honestly, curves is very useful for those last two straights. That's probably where a lot of our time has come from. It's 1 minute 39.847, which is really fast. I think the real Formula 1 lap this year was actually done in the wet, and it was in the 40s, so that's really good. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll be back with, if not F1 2013 content, then probably F1 2014 instead on Next Gen, which I'm really looking forward to, because this game is superb. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers.